some of our physical friends are living like they're creating by default. They look at life and they observe it, and they're not doing anything to really get out ahead of it. They're not truly exercising the creative control that they could if they really care to, if they are asking those type of questions. But you want to exercise the creative control that you truly came here to experience in this lifetime. You're not meant to just look at reality and just accept it. You're a creator of reality. It's either you're going into that place in your mind where you're just complacent, the complacent mode, where you're just watching the world go by and you're complacent and you're not doing anything. And that's where the resistance bubbles up, because you're just observing reality. And some parts of reality are good, and you don't dream bigger than reality. You don't expect more than reality because you're just complacent. But when you're in the creative mode, you're there you realize that you have a point of attraction, and so you're truly trusting your point of attraction. You know the power of your point of attraction. That's the thing, you know your power in this now moment. So you're using this now moment to literally tune your frequency, so that you can allow more in, It's about tuning your frequency. Your desires are not future tense. That's what's so interesting. This is not about things that will happen. This is about what's happening right now, here and now, and where your satisfaction mode is, your satisfaction factor is. This is where your guidance system is, right here now with you. And so while you're mixing things up and you're enjoying your life and you're not enjoying your life, while you're just going through all the conditions and emotions of life, you're creating a whole ideal reality, a whole vortex for yourself where everything that you want is being held. So while you are exercising this creative control, you want to literally take things out of your vortex. You want to be in your vortex. You want the best of the best. And you know how you want it? You want it easily. You don't want to work hard. For working hard, only in a world where you have to work hard is a world where you have to overcome resistance. But we're saying you need to minimize resistance, and that all comes in the calibration process, which is the emotional process, which is the gap. You want to tune your frequency. That's how you mind the gap, the vibrational gap, between where you are right now and where you want to be. It's a vibrational gap. It's not, oh, it's gonna be so nice when I have it. It's not gonna be so good when I have it. It's gonna feel so good. Because when you're having those conversations, when you're visualizing, when you're daydreaming, your desires they don't feel like right now. For your desires still feel big. They feel out there. For how could you be a millionaire right now? You would think that. How can I really be a millionaire right now? So it has to be some far off future, and when I get it, I'm gonna feel so good. And while the conversation sounds good, it's not truly the power that it could be if you made your desire feel like right now. So how do you make your desire feel more like now? How do you make that big empire, that big literary writing career, how do you make it feel good right now? You talk about why you want it. You see, sometimes it sounds like we're saying just shut up and sit in the corner and just be complacent and feel good, and that's all you really need to do, because what you want is to feel good. So if you just STFU and sit in the corner and feel good, then you'll just get something that's a little bit better than the most. We're not saying that at all. We're not saying you can cope with reality. We're talking about thriving. We're talking about getting everything that you want, crossing everything off your list, because we know that this is a path to get everything that you want. When you talk about why you want it, you open yourself up to the general vibrations. You're in a place where there's less resistance, because here's the thing, is that it's like walking to the party, and before the party you didn't do any segmenting. You didn't talk about who you were before you went into that party. So now when you go into that party, the people who you're always with, now whatever's the loudest, that's what you're gonna harmonize with, because you're always a harmonizer. You want to harmonize with something, but usually you're used to harmonizing with people. Who feels the most fierce about their opinions, they're the ones who you're gonna, confidence scares you, because whoever's confident, though, that's gonna be the one who you're gonna calibrate to them. But we're saying calibrate to your inner being, calibrate to who you really are, for you're creating who you really are all the time. And it needs a reminder. It needs a constant reminder, because you think that your desires are future tense, but we're saying if they're future tense, they're never gonna come. They need to feel like right now. Your money needs to feel like right now. And so when you talk about why you want it, you start the general vibration, and then you know what it is? It's like, it's not really about being complacent. It's about understanding that, it's about understanding the physics. It's about knowing when things are too haywire, because then you can step back from the specifics and you can go general. But once you're general enough, that's a time where you can go back to being specific, because it's fun to create from a place of non-resistance. And that's what meditation is about. Meditation is where non-resistance is, and you put yourself in that state, and it's fun. But it's more fun, we would say, it's more fun to be in your now, appreciate your life, and to tell a story the way you want it to be, and then see the results, find the satisfaction in the path. That's way more fun than just being in that state of non-resistance, because you think you're afraid of resistance, but you're afraid of, you know what it is like you're afraid of resistance because it feels so bad. And the reason why it feels so bad is because your inner being feels so good. And if you think about it like that, then feeling bad is not the worst thing in the world, because your inner being is feeling really good. So you just understand that, hey, my inner being is feeling really good, so I should be feeling really good too. You know, all you really need to do is want something. All you need to have is a desire. But in having the desire, especially when you really want it, you're fighting for your limitations. You have a negative pattern about it. You have a pattern of thought about it, because a belief is just a thought you can continue to renew. So you have this thought about it where it's always about you're fighting for your limitation. Always notice the next time when you talk about your big desire, you always have a practice of fighting for your limitation. Oh, it hasn't come in all this time, so how can I expect it now? Is this a day? Well, it hasn't been coming all this time. Blah 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 blah. We say that blah 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 because your life is right now. Your point of attraction is right now. And it's so interesting because when you truly get back to going general, that's when your life kind of goes a little haywire in an emotional sense, because now you truly realize how, like, you realize the gap between you and all of your desires, because you're aware of non-resistance. So now you just understand, the vibrational gap. You know your journey now. You know how to get from everywhere. You know how to quantify all your journey. So now when you're talking about money, like, you're thinking about money now, you're going general about money. And we're like, when it feels good, that's time to put that gas on. That's time to be like, well, I'm rich, because that's what it's all about. It's about making your desire feel like right now, because it has to feel like right now. Because, you know, in your visualizing, in your daydreaming, you have this vision of yourself, and it's so cool and it's fun to go there, but it still feels like far out there, because it's a vision of what will be. But we're saying if it's a vision of what will be, then it will never be. Because when you're an artist, you know this. When you're an artist, you truly understand this. When it's between you and your source, it's always easy. Every creation is easy when it's between you and your source. When money's between you and your source, it's easy. It's easy because you're like, hey, if all I have to do is feel good about money, then I feel good about money. But then there's the parts where am I gonna get it from? Because when it's between you and your source, it's easy. But when you start to talk about the physicalness of it and where it's the avenues from which it will come from, that's where you start to ruin the desire factor. Because you have a desire, a pure desire, and we're just saying when your desire is really pure, it comes really fast, because it's like the frequency is there, and if you're not doing anything to blur it, it will come into full force. The momentum will pick up, and if the momentum isn't picking up to the point where you can really perceive what's there, you can really realize what's there, then you're adding resistance. It's fair to say that you're achieving frequencies that are going to allow the revelation of what you're in, the manifestations that are percolating in that vibrational escrow for you. That's exactly, you're achieving frequencies. You're achieving frequencies that will help you see your dream life, which is not really a dream, it's now. And so it's about living your life now, kind of as the way you want it to, but you have to know where you are first. Meaning if you're in a state of fear, that's not the time to put the gas on. That's the time to step away. So that's the time to slow it down. Isn't that interesting? You have to know when to step it up and when to slow it down, and no one can really tell you that. Only you're, because you have a guidance system. You understand, this guidance system, your guidance system, which is your emotions, because your emotions are just about what you're doing in this now moment. So everything that you want, it really is so close in formation. It's so close to being realized by you. If only you could just keep sharpening your skill. Yes, your vibrational skills. Yes, the skill set of feeling good. But mostly it's about sharpening that vibrational signal. Keep sharpening your vibrational signal, because it's like, it's already 99% done. So physically, it's just physically not here. But the physical part is the last piece. It just comes right out. It's like the baby, it like gestates and it has all of its limbs, and then it just comes right out. It's a fully formed baby. That's what we're saying. When it comes out, it's gonna be a fully formed empire, fully formed YouTube channel, fully formed, best-selling book. It's always gonna come fully formed, because the vortex doesn't give you half-assed things. It gives it to you full form. So if you want an acting career, it will give you the full force acting career, because you can't walk around here waiting for reality to be the reason why, because you don't want to believe in things that people will be like, well, where's your proof that you believe that? What do you mean you're the best actor in the world? You have awards? Where is your filmography? Where's your Wikipedia page? I don't see you have any awards. And so you feel like you have to defend yourself, but you have to really realize that, well, it's my vibration reality. So I am the best actor in the entire world. I'm one of the greatest performers of this experience, because it's about now. It's about now. Because when you walk around with that affirmation and that feeling and that knowing, then you are it, you own it, and everyone sees that. And the next thing you know, people are begging you to be in the movies. And that's how it is, though, because the people who are famous now, the people who have the type of success that they want, they had to find a way to believe in what they want. And usually it came from a place of worthiness. They were like, well, why can't I be this? Why can't I write one of the best books ever? Why can't I do that? Because I can because I have a skill. I'm a good writer. And when you're creative, you really know when you're in the zone. When you're a creative person, you think that, okay, the creating part is easy. Like, because I can create with source, because if it's between, when it's between me and source, and that, you know, the first creation was just me, you know, sitting down, recording the video, writing the book, that's easy. But it's really when I try to get it into the economical sense, where I'm trying to get into the marketplace, where I'm trying to get customers and attract customers, that's the hard part, because then I think I have to do things I don't want to do, like marketing. But saying is that you don't have to do any of that, because when you're, all you have to do is basically the energy that's used to create what you want, and that's always there, that is for sure there when you're creating. Because as an artist, you know when the flow is there and when it's not there. You know when you have a block and when it's going fully forward, when it just streams through you. That energy is all it takes to find the audience. All it takes to find the audience. And that truly, if you can truly hear that, then you can really propel yourself to the artistic success, because it's just about that feeling. And if you can make the feeling of how it feels when you're writing, and you know, that flow state feeling, that in the vortex feeling, where it feels like you're not writing but you're receiving, if you can make that feeling more dominant than your thoughts of, well, the people are not here yet, you know, how are people going to perceive my stuff, because you're making up their opinions. You don't really know how they're going to feel. You're making them up, and usually you're an uplifter. You usually want to help people, so you're like, well, I want my stuff to be, you know, in alignment. I want people to be in alignment when they perceive my stuff. But now you perceive them as not being in alignment, so now you just lost your connection. But when you realize that you're just an artist who just wants to create, when you realize that why you want to write the reason why you want the empire, from writing books, from making music, from acting, from any artistic endeavor, even if it's just being self-employed and selling anything on the internet, the reason why you want to do that is because you just want to do whatever you want to do, and then you want to get paid for it. But you don't feel like you can do whatever you want to do because you don't have the audience yet. Once the audience comes, that's when I can finally do what I want to do. But what we're saying is that doing what you want to do, that feeling of purely being in that state of the flow state when you're creating, when you're writing, that feeling that's always present when you are creating, that feeling takes care of everything. You don't need to worry about the people. You don't need to worry about anything, because law of attraction will do everything. Law of attraction is the manager. Law of attraction will deal with all that for you. And so it's like, we want to say you're doing better than you think you are, but we think that goes without saying, because you can't get it wrong. You literally can't get it wrong, because there's only well-being on this planet. But if you can't perceive it, then that has more to do with your practice vibration at the moment. But it's okay, because it's fine. You have unlimited chances. You have all of eternity to figure everything out. You know, your desires should feel present tense too, because to your inner being, they are present tense. Your inner being is living the vibrational version of them right now. Everything that you want is vibrationally already here right now. So, but when we say it's vibrationally here right now, we mean that in the vibrational sense, it's already 99% completed. And so then we tell you, well, everything that you see was once a vibration. Everyone who's ever created anything, they basically suspended all their resistance. And the way they did that was they either forgot about their desire, they thought about other things, or they thought about their desire in a way that felt really good, in that state of pure desire, because there was no resistance. They talk about why they wanted it, and they just left out the pieces. They just wanted to sing, and they left out the pieces of the marketing and the audience, and they left all that part out, because if you can just keep it as, you know, when I'm connected to source energy when I create, and if you're connected to source energy, you will love my work, you will love what I do, you love my songs, you will love everything. If you keep it like that, then you truly will find that success that you want, because it's really all about attraction. That's the thing. It's all about attraction. It's what you're doing in this now point of attraction. So when you're saying things like I'm rich, and you're actually feeling rich, and you're feeling the feeling of rich, you're feeling the feeling of, because in your daydreams, your daydream is for the fun of it, yes, but your daydream is to feel like it's present here right now, because right now is where all your power is, not later. It's not a pipe dream. It's a real reality. And so to wrap it all up, you know, you are doing better. You're doing a lot better than you think you are, because everything you want is already done. And just keep sharpening your signal. Keep sharpening your signal. Keep reaching for thoughts that feel better. Keep using your guidance system. Keep having fun with everything. Keep being easy about everything, and realizing that, you know what, just daydream your life. But in daydreaming your life, don't make it about something that will happen. Make it feel as if it's right now. Enjoy it as if it's here right now. Enjoy the textures of the scene that you created in your mind as if they're right now, and you truly use the daydream as your reason to feel good right now, as your reason to feel even better than you already feel right now, because you are in the vortex. You are receiving from source. You're doing everything that you came here to do, and continue doing it.